Well, hello everyone. Jonathan Saar, the JuvoHub Podcast. This is part 4 of my learning theory series. As I have disclaimed in all the other episodes, I am not an expert, but I felt compelled to do my own research, which has been ongoing for a very, very long time, and create this series to present the topics, the theories, the concepts to you as my audience, and provide some resources. And fundamentally, the reason being we need to understand who we're teaching. If we can't figure that out, it's going to be really hard to improve as educators. So today, I wanted to talk about the self-determination theory. And not the political one. This is very focused on individuals, and especially for many of us that deal with compliance related training. This is really important because compliance can come across as like, why? I'm just doing this over and over again. It's a check the box item that I have to do. Fair housing or sexual harassment prevention, OSHA safety, conflict resolution, the bunch of different topics that are extremely important. But for our students, they can become like redundant, like I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. So the self-determination theory will help us as educators to kind of have an understanding of what that means for our learner and what we're trying to overcome, because we want them to be motivated, even if the topic is repetitive, even if it's something that they have to review on an annual basis or monthly basis. So I have a couple of articles that or sites that I'm going to post in the show notes. One, selfdeterminationtheory.org. It's got a lot of resources on there. One that's a little bit more comprehensive, and a single article, if you want to get an overview, is on positivepsychology.com, and it's focusing on that self-determination theory. So here are a couple of core principles that are involved in it, and then we'll come back to some ways that we can apply it. So core principles of the theory are autonomy, competence, and relatedness. So all are really interesting, so we're trying to get our students to feel that this education means something to them. They have to feel like this relates to my choices, who I am, to feel like they can do it. So what are we doing in our training that lends to, yes, you can be successful, even though this may be there's multiple complex scenarios. Like, for instance, we talked about fair housing, sexual harassment prevention. Often that training is very scenario based. Just quoting the law is not enough. And now we're having to present, well, here's a potential situation that applies to fair housing. Now, can you see yourself in that role? And that's where that relatedness comes into play. So I'm just going to stop there. Again, I'm not an expert on it. I found it a fascinating read to really get an understanding of like what we're trying to do when it comes to our education. And really, in principle, that's the goal behind education in itself. Previous episode, we talked about the difference between a presentation and providing education. Our education, no matter what, there is a motivating factor that's in there. And so understanding some of the concepts of the self-determination theory puts us into the mindset of our students, who it is that we are teaching. So part of that is just understanding that psychology, getting to know who our students are. And it leads to questions then now that we would follow up with naturally after doing a little bit of discovery on this theory, self-determination theory. When we are creating our compliance training, how can we make it more meaningful? Please do more than relate the 7 protected classes of fair housing. Do much more. Make it real. Fair Housing Institute's got some great online courses. Disclaimer, they are a client of Market Me Social. We work together. I'm a co-host on their show. But at the same time, they do a great job. And there's a ton of other fair housing trainers, in-person trainers that are out there. But the point is like making it meaningful. Find content that is going to be meaningful. It's going to relate. What are some creative ways to keep them motivated beyond completion? What an interesting question. What are you doing to follow up to help them retain? That's part of this self-determination theory. And when do rewards help and when do they hurt? So if completing a training is a $10 gift card, I don't know. Is that helpful? I'm not sure. Would love your feedback. What are you doing to reward? And when do you choose not to reward when it comes to how you provide your education? In general, we're talking about just a couple of different applications when it comes to the self-determination theory. But in general, our training, all of it, should be motivational. It's not just a one-time item that we do with a course, but as a learning and development department, it's upon our shoulders to make sure that everything in our curriculum is motivating. It's a continuous process. So check out the articles that I've highlighted in the show notes. They're great reads. And if you have any feedback on this, research that you've done, your own opinion, please check it out. Check out the other episodes in this series. This is part 4 of 8. And it's just a privilege for me to share content like this. Not an expert, but an amazing topic. Where learning leads. We're all learners. Keep up the good work. See you guys next time.